Hi and welcome to this episode of Zeitgeist podcast with Niklas and Flo. Hi, I'm Niklas.
Hi, I'm Flo. Today we want to talk about why everything feels fake, even real life. Have you noticed something strange lately? Everything looks perfect, but nothing feels real. Social media, success, relationships, even happiness feels staged. In this episode of Zeitgeist, we are asking one simple question. Why does everyone feel fake, even real life? Do you realize that in your daily life that everything feels like fake and it is hard to see the difference? I mean, you open Instagram, social media in general, there's a lot of AI stuff going on, and it is really hard sometimes to really make the cut to figure out if it's real or not.
Yeah, I think it's blurring totally. So what I've noticed first is I think this shift that people on social media can actually make a career out of kind of just presenting themselves in a way that might not even be them. It might be like a wishful dream or something. But at the end of the day, yeah, sure, I've been to Bali last year, for example. You see a lot of but people just taking these typical Instagram photos on beautiful small beaches and so on. And what I also notice is, at least sometimes it feels like there's a bit of a loss for the surrounding and the environment around it. So I would even call that kind of fake at times, because it's, as you said, it's creating an illusion of perfection that is not there, or that if you were true, it's different, you know?
I mean, it's funny. The first thing we talked about before we started this podcast today is how many followers I have now on TikTok and how many you have on X. So the question is, are we living our lives or are we performing them for others?
For at least that's a very good question. So to be honest, I'm quite happy with my life. So I would not. It could be significantly worse. So and I also, that's why I hesitated for a second. I thought about whether I post things that I just post to fill a narrative or for follow growth, or whether I just post the things that I care about, because that's kind of how I started on X. Basically, I just posted and discussed stuff with people that I cared about and the things that I cared about, basically. So that was where I'm coming from. I think that's still true. I think probably I've also written posts that I expected to get quite a bit of engagement, because I know that some posts work. They will always kind of work, which is interesting. But outside of that, I'm still discussing the same topics that I personally care about. So this is definitely not like just a projected picture or something. It's just, for me, it's just that who I am basically out there. And for me, it's always been like having more followers on X just means that I have a broader reach to get access to people that I care about, discussions I care about, these kind of things. So, but I understand that it's a blurry line, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's some kind of constantly self-presentation, and it's exhausting. I mean, everyone feels like they need to have a personal brand nowadays. I think it's like some kind of a wheel that, you see people online, they might have success or not. You think they are making some money with their social media activities and you want to jump on this train, right? So that's, I guess, why everyone feels the desire now to be an influencer nowadays.
Yeah, and then again, I mean, it's really interesting how this will evolve, right? So I think this year will be very interesting in this space, because I would honestly predict that we will see more long form content than short form content. I think that AI videos will get crazy good this year. So this is what I expect to happen. So, and people will care about watching. That's at least what I believe. Care about watching videos with a really good story, that are really entertaining. And then it's interesting how much they care about human creators. So this is what I currently think. So this is really, will people care about things being fake? That's what I wonder. And I think that also means a lot for like advertising and brands and all these things, because I think a lot of advertisement was projecting dreams, kind of. And you would maybe bring in a sports star who's the fastest runner, and you have the dream that you could also run this fast if you buy the products, basically, and get these associations. I think we would see a lot more of these kind of, I would say, guerrilla marketing in the next year for that. So probably that's at least what I think is split in between. So we will see really high quality AI content with amazing storylines and great videos. And then we'll see like a bit of the weird stuff, like the background stories on people, where it's not enough anymore to just create classical advertising that will not be differentiable, but what will be the value creation will be behind the scenes, long form content. That's at least what I think in the video space. And then the text, like in the text space, like for Twitter and X, I have no idea. I know that people are dirt tired of AI replies. Like if I had a chance to block everybody who uses an AI reply bot, I would take it in the first second, basically. So I'm constantly blocking people whom I identify as having AI replied, basically. So this is, I think that it's really different. I think it's really on which platform you are, in which niche you are, and what you're targeting. But if you're like kind of competing for mainstream, I think it will be more difficult. I think if you compete on like very human topics, I think that is where the music for creators will play.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I think we have nowadays like 3 different categories. You have like the influencers, still like call them nano or micro influencers, which are real. That's the reason why people are following them. But at some point they're getting so big that they are not that real anymore, and it gets blurred to like some fake perfection to reach the next level. And then we have obviously all the AI stuff. It is practical to blast a lot of content, but I mean, I don't know. I would think that the most people would agree that it is not interesting to follow like an AI person with no feelings. I mean, this makes humans, that we can feel for someone else's emotion, and maybe this is a reason why we like or dislike someone. I guess with AI, it will always tell you what you want to hear. So that's not like what real actually means. I hope this makes some kind of sense.
No, to me that makes a lot of sense, and it's also, I think, in line with my expectations. So I think in short form, especially if you kind of just flip through short form videos, you might just look for entertainment at times. If you really follow a person, I would think the same. So then behind the scenes and all of these things, and also like a bit of what you said, basically behind the scenes, daily emotions and authenticity will play a significant role. That's what I believe, and that will be the differentiator in between, I think, AI entertainment on the one hand, and the human things where you have like a real personal experience presented on, and I would say a rather niche topic, like not the latest mainstream new sport, for example. Not entirely sure, but like more on a niche topic. I think what you're doing on TikTok, for example, is kind of a niche topic because it depends on your experience. You could put somebody else, like an AI there, but what's the value of that, for the topics that you talk about? It's kind of your experience on on how you're going. And I think that will be the main differentiator. But if you just want to, I would say, beautiful girl or boy on a nice beach somewhere in the tropics, I think that can be 100% replaced by AI. You don't need, and it's already happening, I think, as well.
Maybe. I always thought that the interesting part is, and this is probably why some people are so successful, is because these people, even that they are like living the perfect life in the perfect world, are still like the girl or the boy from next door. This makes them like some kind of, not out of your league, out of your world. But yeah, it is possible. The big question is, who are these people if no one is watching? And then we're going back to the micro influencers, that they feel more closer to like real life, and that's why they are so successful.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting to see. I have no real prediction around that, but I would agree. So it's probably I really don't know what will happen there. What I very strongly believe is that AI content will grow and there will be a followership for that kind of, I would say, fake content. It's a bit like what I've heard a lot is that, for example, AI music is played a lot over Asia, basically, because they skip the royalties on normal music. And obviously the lyrics are then shit, and it's kind of, at this point in time, a bit weird, but the music, it still sounds nice. And if you're going to like a coffee shop or a supermarket or something like that, you don't care that much what kind of music is running in the background. You will maybe remember one where you heard this amazing music, but that's not what they differentiate on. And so kind of like this, I would imagine will happen in the other formats as well, right? So you have low cost, relatively high quality produced content for a lot of the attention span, and then you will have niches, but we'll see.
I guess so. I mean, this is probably one of the reasons why Shein is so successful. They make mass production on clothes. At some point, we were saying, I don't care, I just want a cheap t-shirt or whatever, and you're paying $4 and then you're good to go. But there will always be the other side. Some people will say, I want sustainable products. I want to spend more to have a Nike logo on it or whatever. So I guess there will be always two sides of the medal. Probably the same thing here. Some people will say, I don't care what kind of music, as long as there is some music. Then you will have some people who doesn't really see the difference if it's like an AI jazz or like a real jazz. And then you have people who say, I just want to hear like real classics. I need to listen to the Rolling Stones or whatever. So yeah, exciting times we're in, and we have to see where it ends.
That's good final words for this podcast. What do you think about this, at least perceived fakeness? Write it in the comments. Thanks, subscribe, and goodbye. See you next time.
Bye bye.